Hello, and welcome back to my Let's Play of the Roottrees ad. Last time, we have nearly finished the board, having identified all but 4 Roottrees. So, our last unknown is this person, November, who is definitely not a student because she is well past her 20s now. This photograph was taken 20 years. But I think I have had a realization of what her occupation might be, and it was here. So if we look for Stephanie Jones, or rather, we need to look not for Stephanie Jones, we need to look for her husband, Brian. Let's see. Brian Jones, or even more specifically, we need to look for his publishing company, because that was the only place where we have seen November even mentioned. And it was Butler Summer Theatre, choreography by November Studios. So assuming this is the same November, then she is a dancer. Boom. So there goes our last route. 49 out of 50 relatives. And we have locked everyone from the free spirit. And unlocked the top secret envelope.
To my genealogy genie. If you're reading this, it means you've locked in 49 blood relatives. Congratulations! I knew you could do it. There are 2 more entries on the family tree I'd like you to consider. These last 2 are optional. You can summon me whenever you wish. However, this will end your search and reveal the truth. So make sure you're ready.
Alright. We are not quite ready yet. Actually, let's check who we do not have logged in. Okay. So EC is Edward Clark Roottrees, and his spouse is John Miller, John M. I don't think I recorded who it was. EC and John. Okay, so this one mentions it. Then I guess it was in the other one. It was in this one, Reading the Diary. Something mentioned confirmed bachelor. Okay, John Miller. So, this is your photograph, probably, because this is the only photograph we have left. And John Miller. So you are Edward Clancy, not Edward Clark. Clancy. Maybe I'm supposed to... Okay, first of all, Edward and Roottrees, Edward Clancy. Are you a Roottrees? Maybe I should be writing like Roottrees, Edward Clancy? Edward Clancy, Roottrees, does it matter? Okay, I'm going to write in the format that they use. I don't know if that actually matters, if they even check it, but this is what I'm going to say. This is Edward Clancy, not Clarency, Clancy. Okay, just to be sure, now that I have... Okay, it does not immediately check it. Clancy Edward. Edward Clancy. Okay. That sounds about right. So let's go with this. John Miller and Edward Clancy Roottrees. I believe I'm ready. But first... What do you mean, none? What? I am mildly confused. You did not like John Miller. Oh, maybe Miller.
So, you thought EC was
Miller.
Edward Clancy Roottrees, and his partner was John Miller?
Yes?
That's exactly what I needed to hear. I'm Sam Madsen, though you know me as Samantha Roottrees. Yup, I got old. The only picture you have of me is from 40 years ago. My book tells the truth about Elias, the 5 pieces, and my parents. Not my biological parents, Elias Jr. and Patsy. My fathers. Edward Clancy Roottree and John Miller. By now, you've either read Lauren's diaries, or you're just an incredible guesser. Lauren was right. I hated the 5 pieces. She just didn't know my full reasoning. My father, Edward Clancy, was a great man. But his identical twin Clancy and his father, Elias, were not. At age 16, my father was caught kissing a farmhand. Back then, they wouldn't even acknowledge gay people existed. Having one in the family was unthinkable. The same year, I was born. A bastard granddaughter. 2 stains on Elias's perfect family. He decided to fix both. They tried to erase Edward Clancy. They even removed his 5 pieces flavor. His name was deemed a dirty word. He became EC. We were sent to the farm, and the 5 pieces did their best to keep the next generation away, to isolate me from family. But Elias couldn't erase us from existence. Laura never realized I was the little girl from her diary. Who could blame me for being so confused that day? Her father was an exact copy of mine, except without the beard. And while the 5 pieces celebrated a new factory, farmhands did the real work. It's a fluke there's a picture of my father at all, but there he is in the background. The 6th 5-piece. Patsy returned, and things got complicated for Elias. She fought for my freedom, from a life she deemed unworthy. Elias relented, so long as I never learned the truth or receive inheritance. They knew I'd help my father. At Elias's will reading, I learned part of the truth. The rest I learned at home. I began to hate the 5 pieces. My father made me stay silent. He was worried history would repeat, and that his grandchildren would become outcasts. His fears weren't unfounded. As you know, my son Ernie died a few years ago. He had trained to take over as president, but due to family politics, or perhaps hubris, it went to Guy, a real Roottrie. He nearly ruined the company. When Ernie took over, he saved the operation. Over 13 years, he made the family billions. Ernie earned about $36. They got by on Debbie's salary, but when he fell ill, he couldn't pay his medical bills. His death was my tipping point. Originally, my book was meant to expose Elias's hypocrisy. Until I started to look into the other dirty laundry. Ron tried to have Robbie removed from the trust, but couldn't. Robbie was a blood relative, even out of wedlock. That sounded familiar. The Clancy Trust that Elias established was designed to secure his family's future. His entire family's future. He couldn't write exceptions in without the whole thing falling. My book can definitively prove that Elias was not the paragon of virtue he's heralded as, and that my daughter and granddaughters are just as much family, at least in the eyes of the Trust, as anyone else. The Clancy Trust will secure their future. They can decide what to do with their shares. But I'm old, and I'm not in it for the money. The truth has been eating away at me for years, but now I can set the record straight, thanks to you. As someone who enjoys searching for the truth, you might understand the power it has. Whitewashing the past to protect the status quo can lead to repercussions in the present and future. So thank you. You knocked it out of the park. With your expert work, the truth will come to light. And when it does, my share of the Clancy Trust is yours. Like I said at the beginning, set for life. Looking at the family tree on your wall, now with my father's, everything finally feels complete. Unless a whole lot more Roottrees somehow appear from thin air. This is the last time I'll come knocking. Thanks again, and so long.
Well then, I guess we have solved the mystery question mark? Thanks to your hard work, Sam Matlin's book was published. It received mixed reviews. Life went on, and a new president took over the company. The Roottrees family faded from the news cycle. And then everything changed. There is another mystery to solve. Roottrees Mania is now unlocked as a new game. I am a secret Roottrees. Well, what's on the game is that the research process and the investigation are pretty fun, and I enjoy doing that. But unfortunately, there isn't much of a story. In what mystery there is, it ended up being stuff I don't really care about. Oh no, some of the family members were secretly gay, or some of the members didn't like each other. Who cares? But I'm not sure if I will do Roottrees. I will think about that. But I suppose today is a pretty short episode. But such is the finale. So thank you for watching, everyone, and have a good day. Goodbye.